Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the No News, Just Facts podcast. It is Monday, June 26, 2023. It is 10:36 p.m. at night here in Texas, Houston to be specific. I decided, hey, why don't I just do a live rendition of my podcast? This is episode 92, like I said. This is just one of those times where, you know what, I was going to do a monologue and write up some big thing or whatever, but I was like, nah, forget about all that. I want to just try to speak from the heart without anything that I need to read or anything like that. I've been kind of putting podcasting on the back burner, or at least like maybe doing video aspects of things, just because of, you know, there's something I really want to give all my focus or whatever. If you can notice, I don't really like post videos that much, just because, as I said, you know, I'm focused on something. And you know, as with every young man, it comes a time in your life when you have to just be mature and start taking things serious. And, you know, for that aspect, I'm just kind of like doing my best not to be distracted as much and just go with the flow of energy that steers in the direction of hard work, steers in the direction of doing what you're supposed to do to basically get where you need to be. And I'll definitely just sit here and admit and be vulnerable and say that I'm not exactly where I want to be in life. And there's nobody to blame for that. There's nobody to point fingers at. It's just two things for me. It's one, it's my own fault. I will never blame anybody for putting me in any spot or anything like that. I'll just blame myself for allowing me, as somebody who's educated enough, to be distracted, you know? And then number two would be, you know, you got to go when God says go, you know? If it's not time, it's not time, you know? There are people, you know, I use all the examples of, you know, like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs didn't go to college or anything like that, and look how he became a success. Oprah didn't get successful until later on in life when she was older. You know, there are many different people, you know, and you know, as far as like success and having a purpose, you know, it's beyond the ceiling of just like, hey, I want to be making this type of money. I want to be driving this type of car. I want to be living in this type of home or anything like that. This is more like a hunger for life to build a castle for me. This is a hunger of what God said for my life to be at a certain point. You know, I just want to fall in line with that. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. And you know, I'm going to be honest and say to anybody who's young, you know, in your teens, you're not going to get it when you're in your teens. You're still going to be distracted. You're not going to get it in your early 20s, your mid 20s, or your late 20s even. It's going to be once you hit your 30s you're gonna be looking at your life and you're gonna be like, what's going on? Like, why am I right? Like, why am I still right here? Like, why am I allowing myself to just stay right here? You know? Um, it gets better, man. It gets better. You just gotta stay positive. You know, and I know that's hard to just stay positive when, you know, this is happening and that is happening and you know, just life is just throwing you around. Like you know, you almost kind of think to yourself, why am I so special when it comes to like terrible things happening? And you gotta just control your mind to like not live in that in that type of like in that type of thinking, you know, in that type of dark thinking. You can't let your mind like do that to you. You know, and it starts with the mind. If you can like heal your mind, and you and whatever success, whatever battle is coming for you while you're trying to meet the success that you want, it'll be so much. It'll be so much greater to be able to control your mind. Man. Like forget about all the distractions. You know, as you see on social media, you know there are videos of that say, if you lock yourself away, you know, if you lock yourself away or you disappear, you'll be a different person. And then that stuff is true. You know, I once upon a time didn't believe that stuff because it's like you can only you like it's impossible to just disappear completely. You know, you don't want to just disappear completely, but I mean like actually like disconnect yourself in a sort of way where like you know people are gonna be like, where'd you go? Like, are you in jail or something like that? Like why ain't hear from you? Like you know don't you know of course you still gotta call your family. You still gotta talk to you know your significant other and everything like that. But like completely like fasting yourself from social media, fasting yourself from listening to music that's like violent and dangerous and not within the path, within the energy that you're trying to achieve, it's possible. It's not something that's far off or impossible. It's possible. It's possible. It's just like it's just kind of like how much do you want it to happen? You know, like for instance, today, right? I've been going to the gym steadily since I would say since the beginning of honestly I've been going to the gym since January. No matter what, I've been going to the gym. I've been going, and I've always had that feeling of like, hey, maybe I shouldn't go today, or you know, oh, it's the like right now the weather is like ridiculously hot. Like maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe I should just hang back. That's one part of my brain that's just kind of like, hey, maybe you should just go home. It's like really hot outside. Maybe you should just like chill for today. Maybe you should just like go inside, rest. And then another side of me is like, bruh, if you don't go to the gym, I know you don't want to go, but bruh, go. If I could just control my mind to think that way when it comes to everything else I want to achieve, then man, a whole new me is coming. I already know a whole new me is coming. A whole new person, a whole new level, a whole new energy, a whole new everything, man. Like I've already told y'all about my relationship with God, and I think that's another thing I want to highlight. Like, bro, like having a relationship with God is another thing I think you should just get into. You know, you might, I mean, it doesn't matter, bro. I feel like having a relationship with God is something that you should also put in the foreground as far as like trying to like achieve a level of success and everything like that. That's definitely one of those things I would say do. Um, get right with a higher power, because this is not something you changing up and becoming something else doesn't work. It doesn't happen if you don't have that tacked on as well. Um, but I don't want to sit here and just keep on going with the monologue. That's just something that was on my heart to say and to explain. If anybody even cares why I'm not really on here and why I'm just doing these audio lives, that would be what's going on. So, right off the bat, man, let's just get into the BET Awards. It was yesterday, last night, and I watched it. I don't really watch award shows just because I've said this before, and this was pertaining to the Grammys when I watched it and everything that's happened. Award shows are just payola, payola awards that are paid for their artists. You know what I'm saying? Like these record companies pay for their hottest artists to get awards. It's not something that involves the fans of these people, voting for any of them or anything like that. It's just, it is what it is. They pay. Atlantic pays. Interscope pays. Columbia pays for their artists to win awards. I don't think that's anything new. I just think that's how the game goes. That's in the entertainment industry for you. They make these award shows just to hand out prop awards that are handed out to their artists. I guess there's nothing wrong with that if you're in the entertainment industry or the music industry. It's the same thing with the Oscars and all those award shows. Like the movie studios pay, come on now. Think about the Grammys for a hot, quick second. Like, who are these people in the Grammy committee? Up until a point, up until a certain point, the Grammy committee was all old white people. They were all old white people. Whenever you've seen the rap category, you would always see like the same names: Jay-Z, Kanye West, Eminem. I mean, I literally think that there was a year that Eminem didn't even drop an album, and he just had one song out, and he was still in the category. I'm just like, what do y'all got going on, bro? Like, what is your affinity with this man? What is your affinity with Jay-Z? Jay-Z ain't even have an album out, and they put him in the category. Like, what y'all got going on? Like, come on, let's give these newer artists, these artists that are actually doing things, a chance to win these awards. But it's just like the same thing keeps going on. So to get into the BET Awards, yeah, I watched a little bit of it. I didn't really see everything because I was out doing other things and not really like tuned in. But I did see a little bit of it. I seen when the Migos, what is it, Offset and Quavo reunited for a performance in tribute to Takeoff. I really thought that was solid. I really thought that was something that was needed. Um, you know, them being the only two still here, I think Takeoff would have wanted for them to you know piece it up. You know, even if they never like come together and make a song anymore or anything like that. Even if they're not gonna be friends and nothing like that, just piece it up, bro. Like life is too short. Life is too short to be holding grudges and holding on to beefs, holding on to hating on somebody or anything like that. And I think Migos showed that. I think Offset and Quavo showed that. Hey, listen, man. Unfortunate incident happened, and we lost a brother. You know, and instead of us fighting, we need to just come together, bro. Because Takeoff wouldn't have wanted us sitting up here, you know, arguing with each other and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was beautiful. Um, I think with the BT Awards, I don't think they had a host. I think they just had. I don't know if DJ Kid Capri counts as their host, but I mean, I like the way the setting of the way the show was, in which like he was like DJ Kid Capri was literally spinning records the whole entire night. He was playing. He was going through it. He went from the old. He would go from the old golden era hip hop to the early 2000s to the mid 2000s and even the 2010s. And when he would spin those records, the people who did the songs would come out and perform. Like, bro, you had Redman, you had Soldier Boy come out, bro. Like they had Chief Keef. Like let me talk about that for a second, bro. You know what it just blinds me, just makes me feel weird. What makes me feel weird is the fact that like they banned Chief Keef for like almost 10 plus years because he was I guess because he was I'm drawing a blank, excuse me. I guess because he was, you know, his music was violent and dangerous. But here's something funny. Y'all ready? You ready to laugh? Let's laugh for a second, okay? So Chief Keef makes the same exact music as, I'm gonna name a few people, Jeezy. They never banned him. Gucci Mane. They never banned him. 50 Cent. They never banned him. 50 Cent has been on BET before. Who else? Who else? T.I. has made violent music before. Let me see here. Let me see. Rick Ross has made, even though his music is more like, I would say like, you know, like luxurious type rap, they never banned him. They never banned Lil Wayne. Why? Why is Chief Keef so special? And why was he the one artist where they were like, okay, nah, heck no, he's not coming here. He is not coming here. Ban that man. Like he's a danger to society. His music is dangerous. His music is violent. Versus all these other hip hop acts who have graced BET countless times. I mean, 50 Cent alone was beefing with all of New York. 50 Cent alone was beefing with all of New York. All of New York. And he was still able to get on BET, still able to go to MTV, still able to go to VH1. And Chief Keef is dangerous. It just don't make no sense. I don't understand it at all. Whoever the person is that blocked Chief Keef from coming up to BET, like in any capacity, is weird for that. Like, gangster rap has always been around. The BET has always, in some way, supported gangster rap. And speaking of rap, just in general, this is the reason why I don't like the BET Awards. The BET Awards may as well just be the BET Hip Hop Awards, even though they have a separate entity, a separate award show that happens in October for hip hop specifically. The BET Awards may as well just be the Hip Hop Awards because all they do with the BET Awards is take hip hop and make it the main sector of their show, right? Then they take themselves and put R&B under that, and then under R&B they put gospel under that. They put a splash of gospel under that, and then under that is international music and other popular culture things. This may as well just be the hip hop awards. Why did they do that? That like that's all it was the whole entire night on that show. It was only hip hop. They were doing a 50th hip hop anniversary, which is cool, which is nice. This is actually what I wanted to see the Grammys do, which they didn't really do at all. They just went for like a money grab or something like that to make it seem like they care about the genre of hip hop when they don't give a damn at all about whether hip hop is there or not. You know, if hip hop wasn't so big as it was, I don't think the Grammys would even care at all. You know, but hey, that's neither here nor there. That's another conversation for another day. But that's all the BET Awards is. It's just a hip hop award show that happens to have R&B and happens to shine a light on gospel and happens to showcase the international artists. Which, by the way, I don't understand why. You know, Afrobeat ain't getting enough a lot more love because to me, honestly, this is what I think. Afrobeat is actually the most popular genre of music right now. It's probably top 5 or top 3 most popular music in the whole entire world right now. And I just don't feel like it got enough love here at the BET Hip Hop Awards. But like I said, hip hop, I call it the BET Hip Hop Awards because that's what it is. But the BET Awards, you know, like I said, focuses more on hip hop. And, you know, this is an American award show. It's not like it's, you know, an award show in another country or anything like that. It's not. This is North America. This is a North American award show. So I get that. I guess it makes sense. But to continue on, they gave a Lifetime Achievement Award to Busta Rhymes, which that was cool. You know, that was nice. I was rocking with that. That was cool. You know, Busta Rhymes should have got a Lifetime Achievement Award a long time ago. And I'm trying to figure, did they give him one? I'm trying to figure out if they gave Busta his Lifetime Achievement Award at the Hip Hop Award show, or is this just like the first time BET is like really trying to recognize Busta? I'm trying to figure that out. But shoot, what else? Oh yeah. By the way, Busta Rhymes' whole entire performance. Good Lord. Let's talk about that for a second. Busta Rhymes, you know, anybody who decides to go with Busta Rhymes in a versus will have a tough night. Busta Rhymes can easily do a 5-hour show with the amount of music that he has. I mean, my goodness. His performance felt like it was going on for like 2 hours, 3 hours. Like, the man had that much material, that much music, like that it just spawns and goes and goes and goes. It's like a long list of music. I'm actually kind of glad he hasn't done a versus because he would embarrass a lot of artists whoever he would go against. Honestly, he would embarrass an artist for real. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the hip hop awards. Yeah, so JT and Lil Uzi got into a dispute over allegedly Lil Uzi talking to Ice Spice for a little bit too long. I don't, I don't know, man. I don't really know what to say about that, but that is something that happened at the show. Um, so she like threw her phone at him, and you know they were basically arguing throughout the show, and then they basically got either kicked out or they just left, or probably were asked to leave. Maybe I don't know, but I don't really think it's anything too much to write home about. They argued. I mean, what couple doesn't argue? You know, especially when it's a situation like that allegedly that happened. And then I think the only other thing that was interesting is so the rapper Sexy Red. I thought this was actually pretty crazy to me. So, like on the back end of like JT and Uzi, like arguing over basically him having to sit next to Ice Spice and him talking to Ice Spice. They had Sexy Red like across from so Bobby Jones. If y'all don't know who Bobby Jones is, he's a pastor and he's had like he's been a mainstay with BT for a very long time. I believe he's a pastor and he's had a ministry program on BET for quite a long time since before I was born. So he's a mainstay with BET, and of course he's a pastor and everything like that. So he's on the edge of he's like right, he's like on the end row, sitting like maybe like I don't know, like 5 seconds away from Sexy Red, and like I said, Kid Capri was playing music all night. Like he was playing all the popular records, all the old school records, and everything like that. So Sexy Red is like basically right next to Bobby Jones, and they play, her song. I'm out of town, fucking moving around. They played that song, and of course she started to basically perform her song from her seat. She got up and just started going and started performing her song. And Bobby Jones is right there just like, oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? Jesus, fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, you can't even control it. You can't, there's nothing you can do to stop this from happening. And I just thought that was a crazy thing that happened. But yeah, I just thought that was a crazy moment. So on the tail end of that, so Kodak Black has been going viral for basically, fans were worried about Kodak Black because he had like this cryptic live, and a lot of things was going on, a lot of things were being said on the live that he was, in, and he just looked a little, I don't know, he looked a little, something felt wrong with him. I guess that's why all his fans were worried about him or anything like that. But yeah, basically he's been, I guess he was on, allegedly on the run because he failed to show up to, he failed to show up in court, basically. They basically failed to show up in court for I guess he failed to show up for a drug test. And yeah, he basically went allegedly on the run. And so from what I can see here, he's turned himself in for not showing up. And it says that his bond has been set at $250,000. I'm just, I'm not here to make fun of any any black man who, is doing enough for themselves, that use it to basically provide for them and their family and everything like that. Um, you know, I kind of think there's a conspiracy theory with rap music. I believe that conspiracy theory of I don't know the name of the conspiracy theory, but it's a theory that private prisons are used by the record companies to throw their artists in jail. Just go look it up. It's a thing that came out back in the '90s, in which there was like a meeting um, with, I believe, with all the record companies to agree on something like this. I feel like, whenever I see rappers who are like nowhere near like trying to get themselves in trouble or anything like that, and then they just randomly be going to jail, or R&B artists who just randomly be going to jail. Like, for instance, another rapper, like, he's not even a rapper, he's a singer, Jacquees. Jacquees went to jail. Jacquees just randomly went to jail for assault and battery. Bro, what's going on? Like, rappers just randomly just be going to jail. Same thing with Boosie, just randomly just be going to jail. It's like that's how you know something is going on for real, for real. These rappers are targets. They're targets to be used for the system to make money off of. They're being used as targets. I mean, if it's not apparent enough, like look at how many rappers have either gone to jail for this, that, and the third, or being sentenced. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that some of them have made the best decisions in the position that they're in, but I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that some of them are being targeted. Some of them are being targeted for just random things, you know? Um, that's just my 2 cents on it with the Kodak Black thing. Hopefully he can get out, learn his lesson, and it sucks because it's so crazy. It sucks because he got pardoned. He got pardoned, and it's like now he's back in the same type of situation, But hoping for this man to get out, because last thing I want to see is a black man in jail. Especially a black man who makes an honest living, making music and feeding his family. Instead of him, he could be doing other things that would throw him under the jail, and like I said, I wouldn't wish that on him at all. So hopefully he can get out. But moving on, man. Moving on. So I do just want to touch on this story of the 14-year-old boy and the lady and her 14-year-old son who basically were not accused, but arrested for the shooting of a 32-year-old Jeremy Brown, in which there's like cell phone video of a 32-year-old Jeremy Brown basically punching and or assaulting the woman, And he didn't only punch her one time, he punched her twice. And the son commences to pull out the weapon and basically shoot the guy that was hitting his mom. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Honestly, anything that has to do with harming a woman, that's case closed. If you hitting on a woman, you got to take what's coming to you. You got to take what's coming to you. In that defense, she was helpless. Dude was just sitting there, just throwing punches at the woman, at a woman. She was helpless. Does that mean that the guy deserved to pass away for punching him? Some might say yes, some might say no, but put yourself in the position of, what if that was your sister? What if that was your mother? What if that was your auntie? Would you allow a man to sit up there and punch on your loved one? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't at all. You would not at all. You would do something about it. Whether it be physical, whether it be for having a weapon, you would do something about that in your own defense, to keep a man from further doing more or instilling more harm to the woman that is being, assaulted. And, looking into it more, the guy who was hitting on this woman had 2 kids, I believe 2 daughters, from what I researched. It's sad because there's no father in the children's lives anymore. But it's what you put out into the world is what you're going to get back. It's what you put out into the world is what you're going to get back, and I don't know what else more to say, because you don't hear about things like this happening, and then you have to look into the trauma of the 14-year-old boy. This kid literally shot and killed somebody. He literally shot and killed somebody. He's gonna have to go for the rest of his life thinking about that moment in time in which he had to defend the honor of his mother, and the only way he could do it was to get the weapon and do what he needed to do. I don't even there are things that have to do with this case. The charges were dropped against the 14-year-old boy and the mom, which I'm pretty sure the charges were dropped because, I believe, it was probable cause for the things that were happening in that moment in time, Yeah, like I said, I don't really know what else to say here. I would say if anybody is interested in looking into this whole entire thing, go look at the video. look at what video there is. I seen like the full video, and I still don't see, for me, I still don't see how it's not in the right for what basically happened. You know, that's basically what I got to say about it. Let me just move on from that, because it's, that's a little dark, little dark situation. So there's a video of some women in Ghana twerking at a slave dungeon, Elmina Slave Castle. You can tell we're living in a time period where random things like this will just be happening. It doesn't, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. Working at a slave dungeon is, it's crazy. It's disgusting. It's foul. Whose idea was this? Who said, let me hit record and then put this on the internet? I don't get it, man. I guess this is where we are in society now, where twerking is like, a rite of passage. I don't get it, man. Slaves died. Slaves were sacrificed for you and me to be able to live what we want to live, eat what we want to eat, drive, do all the things that are accustomed to us as black people. And to see something like this happen, I can only assume that these are American women and not like women from Africa, because this would probably never happen if it was some African women. This would not happen. This is definitely American women, bro. American women who have no culture, who have no respect, who have no like it reminds me of like when I think of this, I think of like when Steve Harvey was saying like go to Africa, and when you go to Ghana. Like there's a video of like Steve Harvey being in Ghana and just like crying at like going to like see where the slaves were bought and sold, or like that's one of my ambitions, is to go to Ghana and just go to that place. This right here is pure just disgusting and disrespectful, and this video should just be taken down. I don't even care. Like what like, are you so thirsty for attention that you needed this? Like what? Like I wouldn't be surprised if people found all they apps, like all the social media that they have, and just down them and down them and down them and down. Like I wouldn't be surprised, man. I would not be surprised. This is very disgusting. Pardon my language, but this is some nigga. This is some nigga-ish. You know what I'm saying? This is some nigga-ish. Pure, absolute nigga-ish. That's what this is, man. That's all that is. Ignorance. Ignorance. Ignorance, man. And then you hear him in the video talking about, we twerking for the ancestors. Like, what? What? Why? Like, why? Why? Pure evil. It's evil. Sick. Disgusting. unequivocally atrocious, to say the least, in my opinion. I got one more thing I want to talk about, and I'm gonna be out of here. I'm gonna be out of y'all's hair. I do want to talk about Soluminati. If you don't know who Soluminati is, he is a. I wouldn't just say he's a YouTuber. I would say he's an online presence. Let's just say that online presence, right? So Soluminati has finally come back to the internet. Finally come back to the internet and has finally addressed uh, the entertainer known as DDG. From what I gather from the video, that he's now back recording uh, and putting up videos on YouTube. Um, Soluminati is a guy who used to be, I believe, he used to be like a 2K streamer or whatever. And then he went from just like doing streaming to doing reactions, and then just doing videos where he's just like giving enlightenment and speaking on an energy basis. Of course, if you don't know who DDG is a rapper, a YouTuber, streamer, whatever else you want to call him. So DDG and Soluminati have been beefing since, they've been beefing since like 2015 maybe, 2016, 2015 or something like that. So Soluminati basically came back and addressed DDG and basically said, DDG, you have been speaking about me. I've been away from the internet. I have not said anything. I haven't said anything about you. I haven't been on the internet. I didn't even know this. I've been grieving over the loss of my brother. I have been keeping myself away from the internet to just, focus on trying to keep myself in good spirits over my brother passing away. I didn't know that. And all you have been doing, DDG, is talking about me, mentioning my name, saying that you beat me, saying that I fell off, this, that, and the third. And so Illuminati just went on a rant of epic proportions and basically said, hey, DDG, your girl, which is, the Haley Bailey chick, who's the Little Mermaid, he was giving her strays. She was catching strays, which I don't understand. I honestly, I know him and DDG have history, but I mean, bro, what's the point of bringing her up? She don't even know you or anything like that. So, that one I didn't agree with, but all the other things that he said made sense. I don't pick and choose. I don't pick and choose a winner or a loser in this beef between these guys. It's just, I just feel like it's sad that they even need to, two black men beefing ain't good for nobody but the white man, in my opinion. Ain't good for nobody but the white man who likes to make money off and thrive off black men beefing, which is why rap music is always in a cesspool of beef, because black men are beefing with each other. Black men are running up on each other and beating each other up. Black men are shooting each other. And gangster rap becomes more violent, and gangster rap becomes more monetary when an artist is passed away. So in this instance, I just feel like everything that Soluminati said, yes, he made valid points. In the moment in time of right now, him coming back and getting on the internet and basically addressing BDG, you can't tell somebody how to react, especially when you've been sitting on the internet telling the world that, hey, I beat him. Hey, I made him walk away from the internet. I made him stop posting because of said beef, because of what I did in the beef, because of what I did to him mentally. You can't tell nobody how to react to that. You can only push somebody's buttons for so long until they be like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of you. Stop playing with my name. Stop playing with my name. Watch yourself. Stop playing with my name. And I get that, and I understand that. I just don't. I don't like the fact that they beefing in the first place. Honestly, that they're still beefing. I feel like they both are now older. I feel like DDG has matured in his own way, but there's still a part of him that just don't want to let go. This Soluminati thing, just don't want to let it go. Just like leave it alone, bro. And that's where it seems like Soluminati has matured more than DDG. I would fairly like to see DDG and Soluminati just be done with the beef, bro. Because if DDG says, like, there's a video from like 3 weeks ago where Gideon was basically saying, "Hey, DDG, I don't think you beat Soluminati," and basically him saying like, "Hey, yeah, I beat him, and now I don't have any problem with him." Well, if you don't have any problem with him, why are you still talking about that? Like, let it go. It was when you were still, in your adolescent stages, I would assume to believe, But hey, it's neither here nor there. Hopefully they piece it up, even if they don't become friends or anything like that. Just squash that. Y'all are older, man. Like, y'all are older. I think Soluminati is in his 30s. I think, what's his name? DDG is like in his late 20s or something like that. Like, man, that's dead. That's old news, man. Squash it, bruh. Squash it. But yeah, man, that's all I got for you guys. Peace, one love, and enjoy the rest of your night. And hey, follow your dreams, man. I'm out.